Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a very interesting polling update via Gallup polling based on their favorability ratings, which are just amazing for Trump. Now, let's put this into context. Trump was way more unfavorable than Joe Biden in 2020. He was way more unfavorable than Hillary in 2016. He beats Hillary with over 300 electoral votes despite it, and he nearly beats Biden. The overall favorability difference was like 18 points. Biden was like +5 going into election night. Trump was like -13, -14, and he still nearly won. And so going into this election, you would think as long as Trump is close in terms of favorability, that's going to be a good metric to help us surmise that Trump very likely will perform even better than he did in both 2020 and 2016, with probably similar electoral votes as 2016, around 306, maybe 312 is what we're thinking. There are some people that say maybe 287 to 251, depending on what happens with Michigan. Although I do think the Rust Belt tends to vote the same way. They are very close margins. So you can see the shift from August. This is a solid pollster. It's nothing crazy Republican. Remember, most of the Republican polls are actually the more accurate ones if you look at the 2020 final results. But still, this is a solid pollster. And this was done over the span of, before the election and after the election, about a 2-week time frame from the 3rd to the 15th of September. And here they're releasing it on the 18th. So it's not like this is really old data. This is from this month. And you have Donald Trump improving by 5 points in terms of his favorability. Overall, the net favorability is -7 for Trump, which I think is probably very accurate based on what the polls are showing. You've got the super liberal where they oversample libs by 20, 30 points. I'm not kidding you. That's happening. Like with Monmouth, they have Trump like -11 to -15, but most of the accurate ones have Trump sitting -7. So this seems very accurate. And that's pretty crazy considering even this poll had Trump's approval rating significantly lower, and they're saying it's gone up. Now, that just could be them correcting their sample, or it could be maybe a little bit of a trend towards Trump. I think it's probably just correcting. It's not like there's anything crazy that's happened recently that you would think would affect it that positively. But Trump's sitting right now -7. Kamala Harris is sitting overall -10. And her unfavorability rating is trending in the wrong direction. +5 in terms of unfavorable, -3. So that is a huge change when you've got Trump going up in 2 points, or I guess down in 2 points, which is good in terms of his unfavorability, versus Harris +5. That's a 7-point difference. And now Harris has a net unfavorability of 10. She's actually, according to this poll, worse off than Trump. Trump's -7. She's at -10. And you do have the independents, which 1,000% are going to break for Trump. It just determines how many liberals are there that are going to go vote, and some of these swing states is going to be very close. But the independents, we know, based on how far left Kamala Harris is, and of course, she's walked back all of her statements. She's completely contradicted herself 10 different times, because it's a little bit different when you're running at a national level, just trying to get all these swing state, rural, working class voters, than when you're running in California. You can have a lot more liberal policies, and that's a big problem for her. She's had to walk a lot of it back, or her aides have. She actually hasn't said anything. She still hasn't been questioned on her aides literally endorsing Donald Trump's border wall after calling it racist over 50 times on X. It's pretty amazing. But you can see among independents, Trump is sitting an overall net -9. Harris is at a net -25 in terms of approval rating. These are amazing numbers for Trump. If these were even close to accurate, where their approval ratings or favorability, whatever you want to call it, were around the same spot, I mean, based on 2016 and 2020, Trump would win this with this is going to be a huge polling error for these liberals, for a lot of these liberal pollsters who are saying Monmouth, they've got her up by like 5-6 points. It's all total crap. Look at the oversample of Dems when they show the internal data. What's the purpose of even doing it? It's ridiculous. It's a waste of time. But these numbers are amazing for Trump. And I'm not saying they're completely accurate. Of course, it's a poll. We're still a month and a half. It's like 50 days before the election. These are going to change. They're going to ebb. They're going to flow. I mean, the last poll that they did, it looks like, even the last poll that they did, they had Trump at a 41 to 55. So Trump sitting -14. They had Harris at a 47 to 49. So, Harris was significantly better the last time they did this. So I'm sure there's going to be another update in terms of the favorability shifts. But this poll in specific is looking very good. And this was the most recent poll that was done. You can see the 3rd through the 15th. So it was done over, a longer period of time. So listen, if Trump has a higher favorability, it'd be crazy. We all know guys, whenever you see the 538 favorability, and 538 obviously is biased towards the Dems, but the way they input the data on approval rating, it's not really necessarily biased. It's just the reality of the situation. You see Kamala Harris sitting, and by the way, I've finally seen liberals try and explain this because it is hilarious, but you see Kamala Harris sitting like -17 for 3 years. I'm not kidding you. She was -15 to -17 in terms of approval rating for 3 years. And then like pixie dust out of nowhere, it's a straight line up in terms of her approval rating. And now it's like tied if you look at it, and it's the craziest thing. And it's just literally when they installed her and they twisted everyone's, and they took the Biden chip out and they put the Kamala chip in. Now everyone loves her. Now her approval. I mean, that's the power of the mainstream media. They're losing their grip because of Elon, but still, if you got Mark Cuban trying to copy Elon, it's pathetic. But they're losing their grip, but they still have huge power, especially over the Democrats and a lot of independents in this country. Unfortunately, people that don't follow politics. See, this is the problem, guys. People are unfortunately delusional. They think mainstream media still has, now has no power, and everyone's looking. When you talk about the average American that really doesn't follow a lot of politics, they watch ABC, they watch the morning show. It's still all this liberal shit. And of course, all the way they do their content, like these morning shows, it's spoon-fed like this like nuance, this fake nuance take to where, we're trying to remember, this is what CNN used to do until Trump called it out. We're trying to be independent, but guys, Republicans just leave us no choice. They're so racist. And so they have that type of, ridiculous take. And it's like, they appear independents, but it's because Republicans are big, bad, and racist. We have to be liberal. And so they slant everything that way. And that's what a lot of people watch. I've talked to people, and I'm not kidding you, they didn't know about the Trump assassination attempt until like 2 days later because nobody was talking about it in the news. It's a big problem. Mainstream media still does have a big grip over people, and I think people have to understand that you're delusional if you don't think that. You're too online, you're too on X. Most people, that work 9-to-5 jobs, they don't do it as much, and they just get the little, oh, you're a dumbass if you're Republican, liberals are not the best, but they're the best we have, and it's all that bullshit. That's what a lot of people get, spoon-fed. And that's why you've got a lot of these independents still not waking up, even though, and now we've got another thing. By the way, here's a Rasmussen, and people, I don't know how many times I got asked the question about oh my God, Kamala Harris was up 6 in the Rasmussen poll. Guys, it's a daily thing. Look at the 5-day moving average on Rasmussen. If they do a daily poll, it's not going to be all that accurate, but the 5-day moving average, their data is solid. They were the 4th most accurate pollster in 2020. They're way more accurate than Monmouth. They're way more accurate than ABC. They're way more accurate than Quinnipiac. This is pure data from 2016 and 2020 on how they poll Trump. So, and see, they've got Trump, the last 2 polls, up 6 and then up 2. See, look, Kamala was up 6, then Trump was up 6. Obviously, you can't take a day-by-day thing, but you have to do the 5-day moving average, or the last 5 polls with Trump being up by about 2.5. Looks like it's a Trump +2 race. That's to reference it. And yeah, so Trump's sitting +2 in terms of the popular vote is a death blow to Harris. That there's no way she would win. There's 0 chance she could win an electoral college. How about this? You have Gavin Newsom bragging as he's doing an interview about taking citizens' rights away. How tone deaf is this? He signs the new death bill, forcing social media sites to ban election-related memes created with AI. And you have to wonder, do the liberals in California really understand what this is all about? Obviously, number one, I react to news on X, and not a single time have I been fooled by AI, meaning this is a fake problem. This problem is fake, and what this does is it creates leverage for the government. Now that they've been able to censor that, they can censor other things. This is just the first step, but liberals are too much. Those people in California, there should be pushback against this. That is a fake problem stemming from one post that Elon Musk made that I saw no reputable person take seriously. They created a fake problem to take people's rights away. It manufactured. Really manufactured. So this is very sad, and people have to wake up to this and realize this is not an actual issue that's happening. Every single one of my videos, or most of them, is me reacting to news on X. I have not once been even come close to being fooled. The only time I get fooled is when people say report and then talk, not through AI voices. It is a fake problem. It is not a real problem right now, and they do it to create leverage. They hate what's going on with X. They want Elon Musk jailed. I mean, Elon said, yeah, they're probably going to jail me, or they're going to do something if Harris wins, of course. And then you've got dumbass liberals. Well, they're in control of the government right now. Why wouldn't they do something? Because it would be ridiculously unpopular. Why would they do something that would tarnish their chances of winning a general election, you dumbass? Seriously, that's what they say. They're like, oh, Elon Musk is fear-mongering. Why, they're control, Biden's in office. Why wouldn't liberals shut down X right now? Because it's the middle of the election season. They're going to do it if they win, and then it's 4 years until the next election. You have to use your brain. What was the other thing I was talking about where it was like, God, what was I talking about? It was something where they were trying to excuse something. God, I forget what I was talking about. But either way, guys, I mean, this is just sad, what's going on.
Disclosure, there's not a lot of labeling. So among the many AI bills that are on the desk are 3 specific election-related bills.
And they clap as he takes people's rights away. And Newsom always has this arrogance to him where he's like this pompous, like, I'm holier than thou, I'm better than all the other leaders, I'm more cool. He's always got that kind of aura to him, if you will, where he's just this arrogant guy.
Some laws.
See how he brings it out. He's like, look how cool I am.
I just thought, you know,
they're clapping as their rights are getting taken away.
Politician, unless they're going to do something for you. There's 2.
2 are signed, and 3 are signed.
And this is now official. That is now injunctive relief if you do any of those deep.
I wonder if they clapped like that when he extended all the stay-home policies in 2022. They probably did. That's the problem. It's like, these people, if Newsom signed a bill to put a bucket over your head to protect yourself, they'd all do it, and they'd all like walk around blind. It's almost like a head crab. But either way, guys, when it comes to this, these are really good numbers. This approval rating for Trump is very impressive. If this is even close to accurate, I'm not saying it's going to be accurate. It doesn't have to be accurate. If it's even close to accurate, Trump's going to win the election. But that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.